This is what I wanted, and this is what I got!
Willie's chocolate factory in Glasgow failed miserably.
No, this is illegal. This is illegal what you're doing.
It was billed as the ultimate Wonka-like experience. A golden ticket to a world of pure imagination, just like in the movies. But the reality was a horror show.
We're just like, what?
So where's all this Willy Wonka stuff?
I felt like it was an abandoned place.
Oh look, it's a chocolate river!
It was just a sheet of brown flooring with some patterns on it.
This is where dreams went to die.
We didn't get any sweets, no, we didn't get any chocolate, and we certainly didn't get an everlasting gobstopper.
It's a scam. You've scammed children.
The police were called. It got pretty serious.
The story gripped the country.
It seems the chance has been taking lessons on marketing from the Willy Wonka experience in Glasgow.
Then blew up across the world.
And some angry parents and kids were left with a sour taste.
What they found was basically a big empty warehouse with vinyl backdrops tacked to the wall.
And broke the internet.
I am the viral Oompa Loompa meme.
Now, for the first time, the man responsible for the chaos gives his side of the story.
I'm not a scam artist, I'm not a con man, I'm not anything like that.
So who or what is to blame?
Clearly AI has played an important part in this process.
How does it compare to other infamous events? And just how serious could the fallout be for Wonkagate?
Could be fraud, and then we're talking criminal behaviour.
This is the real story behind the scandal that rocked Britain.
I was one of the actors, so I can tell you about everything that went on.
We didn't have any preparation. There's no rehearsals, there's no nothing.
I feel that people are owed an explanation.
So Jude is 7, he's my son. He kind of developed a bit of a special interest in all things Wonka, was asking to visit Wonka's factory. Do you want a treat? Close your eyes. No peeking. So I thought, you know what, I'm actually going to get tickets and take the kids along. Wonka bar! Made up Wonka bars, got golden tickets inside them, gave them to the kids, let them open them and find the golden tickets.
What does it say?
Let's see. Please present this golden ticket at the gates to the Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory experience on Saturday, the 24th of February at 10:30 a.m. How good is that?
Can't wait to go to the factory.
We have 2 kids, a boy who's 5 and a girl who is 7. Told them they were going to the chocolate factory, they're going to meet Wonka, they would blow our socks off, and this was going to be something quite spectacular.
Jensen had been to see the Willy Wonka a few times and he was just obsessed with Willy Wonka. So I thought, let's surprise him with some tickets. And you were excited, weren't you? Mm-hmm.
Coming up for my daughter's 18th birthday, and she's a big fan of Willy Wonka, as most kids are. I thought that would be an amazing way to, kickstart her birthday.
Drawing all these families in is an impressive website promising an exhilarating, immersive event. But it is not linked with the official Willy Wonka brand. Over 800 tickets are sold at £35 a head.
A surreal journey where boundaries between reality and fantasy harmoniously merge.
Mysterious looking sculptures, it sounds fantastic, doesn't it? Enigmatic sounds and surprising turns that will immerse you in suspense and excitement.
Brace yourself for an adventure that will leave you spellbound.
But this website isn't the work of a brilliant digital marketing agency.
These are clearly computer-generated images. We're seeing something that looks really impressive.
The organiser did it all using AI.
And you can create a picture by just typing in some words. So I'm going to ask it to generate a blonde woman advertising shampoo. Within seconds, it's generated this pretty glamorous image.
But these AI images are promising a lot more than just a hair cleaning product.
Did this guy think he was going to create an event of this level?
People expect more now when they go to these kind of events. You think of Disneyland or the Harry Potter experiences. People want that bit more.
Just a few days before the doors open to the public, a casting call goes out requesting actors to take part in the event from a mysterious company called House of Illuminati.
I needed to get a job. Thinking to myself, you know what? I would be a great actor if I really, really tried. Seemed pretty legit. All I needed to do was I sent in my CV. There was no auditioning, which was really strange, but I was one of the lucky few to get through.
Another first-timer to land a role is 16-year-old Felicia.
I'd never done paid acting before, and I thought I could finally get myself out there and do something that I really love. I was so happy about it, and I was telling my friends.
It's now just one day before the doors open to the public, and the actors are called to the location for the first time.
I look around, it's a massive drab gray warehouse. There's like random props that are just scattered about the place. It's like, where's the theater stage?
I expected it to be this really big, grand thing with loads of props and all this amazing suites and stuff. And there was like a couple props in the warehouse itself, but barely anything was there. At this point, I was like, this is opening tomorrow morning.
I get my script, and it's 15 pages of AI gibberish, and I'm given 15 hours, including my sleep, just to memorize a script for the concurring Saturday.
Trying to learn over the lines and look at it, and it's 15 pages of basically pure monologue. I was like, I won't be able to learn this in a night, so I was kind of panicking. And I was talking to my mum, and she was like, you can do it, you can do it. I was like, I can't.
Night before, kids are going to bed. They've been counting down the sleeps. It's one more sleep to Wonka's factory. You're tucking them in, you're saying, right, you know, you need to stay in bed, go straight to sleep.
We were drawing like pictures to give to Willy Wonka and stuff. Like we were all really excited, like singing Willy Wonka songs, and yeah, it was a vibe.
Back at the venue, the actors are getting stage fright.
Didn't have any preparation. There's no rehearsals, there's no nothing, so I was really, really nervous. And me and my mum were like, oh God.
Oh, it wasn't going to turn out well. The place looked like where dreams went to die.
Okay, so you know the organiser?
Well, I don't really know him personally. I just kind of know of him. Billy Cool. I don't know much about him. I just know that he's a bit of a...
Only way I can describe Billy. Fascinating man.
Now the plot really does thicken.
Now, in a world first, the man behind the event speaks out.
My name is Billy Cool, and I am responsible for Willy's Chocolate Experience in Glasgow. I feel that people are owed an explanation.
In Glasgow, it's the opening day of the Chocolate Experience. For actors Michael and Felicia, it's the first time they see the finished set.
I was a nervous wreck. And then when we walked in, We seen like the finished product and I was like, oh my gosh, there was not much there at all. It was just too big of a space. It looked really bare and it looked really bad.
The whole place was really like barren, and it's a massive drab grey warehouse.
I got given the costume. It was just the mask and a black coat, and that was it. And I was like, what?
The physical side of the costume, it was drab. It was really bad fabrics. All I had was a jacket, a really sad plastic cane, and a top hat.
Over 800 tickets, costing up to £35 each, have been sold for the event.
We get to the Box Hub warehouse and there's this huge queue down the street. The kids are so excited, you know, and there's a buzz about the place.
And the queue was still growing. The queue was still growing while we were in it, and it added to the anticipation of getting in here and the excitement and stuff.
We're all going in, go up these stairs, we get to the top of the stairs, and then we're just like, what is this? It's a practically empty warehouse.
It didn't feel magical. You could look up and you could see the rafters above us. Like you could see it was a warehouse. What did you think when you walked in?
I felt like it was an abandoned place.
We get taken up to this sort of like waiting area with benches and things. There's the chocolate factory gates. You can see through the gates. You can see how awful it is.
It was partitioned off, but we could see it wasn't really going to be as expected once we get into the gate.
Beautiful, wonderful, fantastic, and magical. It's not any ordinary chocolate. This right here.
Before the gates can open, it's like, welcome, this is the Garden of Enchantment. And then I'm like, has anyone brought an extra pair of socks? No, because your socks might get knocked off.
An extra pair of socks? Put your hand down, you don't have an extra pair of socks.
Willy Wonka was saying something, but we couldn't hear anything.
It was ridiculous.
Willy Wonka opened the gates. There was really, honestly, nothing there.
It's like, so yes, you know, wander around my enchanted garden. There's like, maybe like a 4-foot flower and toadstool, mushroom. That's basically it.
Oh look, it's a chocolate river.
There's like the little bridge going over the chocolate river, the cardboard chocolate river. It was, you know, laughable.
To be fair, some of the props in the bridge, they were decent. You sort of got the sense that in a smaller space with better lighting, you know, there could have been something salvageable from this event. The factory itself just didn't lend itself well to what we were sold.
And now give me a nice big reaction for the camera. 3, 2, 1.
So Jude is my son. He has autism. Kids with autism tend to sort of feed off other people's reactions, especially kind of in social situations. You know, they look to their peers and their grown-ups for cues as to, you know, how should I react here? You don't want them to see that you're angry or upset. It's almost as if you're trying to kind of tell yourself you're having a good time. So they were smiling, but when I look back on the pictures, I think you can see that they're disappointed.
Possibly inspired by the iconic Chocolate River boat ride in the original 1971 film, after the Garden of Enchantment is the Twilight Tunnel.
It's meant to be this tunnel that's full of twilight, but it was black and white striped hallway thing.
It's essentially just you know, 12 foot, if that.
There's just really sad curtain drapes all over the place with mirrors.
And then there's this creepy creature who we now know as the Unknown.
The only direction I was told was to be creepy. At first I thought this is going to be terrifying to little 5-year-olds.
Oh my God. What is that? It's the Unknown.
This guy just popped out of the mirror and then I just...
You jumped out your skin.
I jumped out my skin.
You did. I did.
Kids ran off everywhere. There was tears. No one really knew what was happening.
And I'm thinking, this is terrifying.
My line for the Unknown is, and I feel a slight chill in the air. And then all of a sudden, the Unknown pops out behind this mirror. These kids are like, oh! Like, what just happened? Because this isn't what they were expecting at all.
At first, I was just trying to have fun with that. I was like, I'm here now, I may as well just try do the best that I can, give a performance to the people that paid to come here. But some people were like, what is going on here? Some people were scared, some of the children were like crying. And I was like, that wasn't my intention, I felt so bad for it.
And then I'm like, but worry not, my dear children. With the power of creativity and imagination, we can overcome any barriers. And then I go through the doors and I'm like, the Imagination Lab.
So kids just ran out into this other area, which is, you know, the Oompa Loompa meth lab.
There was a table with a few test tubes of jelly beans.
The Wonky Doodles, or Oompa Loompa type characters, are being played by Kirsty Patterson and Jenny Fogarty. After the event, they went on breakfast television where Kirsty gave an interesting insight into her thought process during the experience.
Right, so the other actors were amazing and I didn't want to let them down, but then I started seeing the kids coming in and they were all dressed up and they were so cute and I just didn't want to let them down, honestly, I just didn't. So I did like cartwheels, I was happy, I was jumping about, I just like to make the best of any situation.
We thought that there was like going to be like an experiment or something, but basically walked through, got a jelly baby.
They'd been told, you know, 1 jelly bean per kid, so the kids went over and got a jelly bean in their hand.
Some kids didn't get any sweets at all. And then on another table, plastic cups of lemonade. I'm talking 1/8 of a cup of lemonade. It was just literally so little of it.
It was that bad, it was funny.
We came through to the next part, which took us back to where we started, and that was the complete experience of Willie's chocolate experience.
All the adults were kind of giving each other that sort of look as if to say, what is this? You know, you're standing there thinking, have I just paid 35 quid a head for this? I mean, are you being serious? You know, beyond your wildest imagination. Really? It's rubbish. And I'm livid. I'm absolutely livid at how terrible this has been.
It's literally nothing.
Smallest bouncy castle in the world.
People, at first they were just like, oh, just a bit weirded out, but after that they were getting really angry.
Paid £40 a ticket for this. What a waste of money.
Babies were crying like no one was having a good time, and you could really tell these people were mad.
The event was organised by a company called House of Illuminati, set up and run by a man named Billy Cool. He hasn't given his side of the story until now. Billy isn't getting paid to appear in this film.
The first couple of run-throughs, there had been no complaints. People are enjoying their experience. I believed that everything was going to go smoothly. It started going wrong when I had been approached by a very angry parent. Before I knew it, it was just absolute chaos, absolute nightmare. I did not even see where the anger had come from one person complaining to 3, 4, 5.
So what's your name? Sorry, I don't care. We've paid money. So what's your name?
And before long, I was engulfed with angry parents.
You're here to represent a company that's taking money off of parents, grandparents, for children.
It was more like a mob type of mentality.
You've scammed children.
It was absolute carnage. At that point, I said, okay, enough's enough. We have to shut this down.
Billy's concerns began before the doors even opened.
The venue itself was too large for what I had wanted to do. At the time, although I wasn't happy with it, I thought that it wouldn't make that big of an impact.
Billy claims key visual equipment for the event wasn't delivered.
We use projection systems and it creates a fully immersive space. However, it didn't arrive. I was gutted, but I believed that we could push on.
He has also been criticised for using AI to generate the script.
The script itself was created and written by myself. However, let me be very, very clear on this matter. I suffer with dyslexia. I've had to run it through AI to be able to check spelling, grammar and continuity.
The event may have closed early, but things for Billy are about to get a whole lot worse.
The police were called. It got pretty serious.
It just went global phenomenon overnight.
I don't know how it got this big, I really don't.
It's like Willy Wonka, and then it's angry Scots. You can't mix all of these together and not expect like some nuclear bomb to happen.
In Glasgow, the amazing Wonka-like world that Willy's Chocolate Experience promised has turned out to be pure imagination. Just a few hours after first opening, the event is shut down.
We arrived at the event all excited to be told at the door that we were not getting in.
People saying, what do you mean it's going to be cancelled? We've paid money for this, we've travelled for this.
I was quite annoyed. It's the start of my 18th, I'm excited, I'm all dressed up, glitz and glam.
You don't expect to pay £35 a ticket to basically be told at the door, you know, you're not getting in.
Event organiser Billy Cool takes the decision to cancel the event.
The last thing that I wanted to see was children being upset by, frustrated parents.
Inside, the actors claim they are the last to know.
I realised when people did start coming in little straggles, that's when I knew something's been said or something. That's when I realised.
Security guards are coming around to us.
Is everything okay?
Both of them were like, well, we're getting told to shut this whole place down, so we're supposed to take these people out.
This is crazy.
One of the organisers was just shouting, shut down, shut down. And then we as actors, we all just got up, went to our little corner and discussed what was going on. And then he came up to us saying we're shut down.
We didn't get any sweets, no, we didn't get any chocolate, and we certainly didn't get an everlasting gobstopper.
The actors are faced with breaking the news of the closure to the upset parents.
We were all in this whole thing together, and it was just about making that clear to these parents, to these kids, and making sure that they knew that we really did try our best for the day.
We couldn't actually do anything more than what we did for what we were given.
Despite the actors' best efforts, there's little they can do to console their younger guests.
You just don't do that to children.
There were kids that were blatantly upset.
To see all these kids crying, everyone was really angry.
Outside, more ticket holders are arriving.
More families and more cars started to park and approach the building, getting sent away again. Emotion was starting to build as people were starting to be turned away.
You've scammed children.
At this point, a few of the parents were really upset, saying it was a scam.
Where is all the stuff that the kids were supposed to be seeing in the first place?
Lots of angry parents kicking up a stink about the event being cancelled.
And
Boardwalk amazing.
almost a mob mentality at that point, because everyone's in their little clusters saying, I've paid money for this.
We've paid money, so what's your name? Right, there's children here.
And people were firing questions at the organiser and weren't getting much response.
Taking money off of parents, grandparents.
The organiser was, I think, trying to talk back to people, but his voice was completely gone by this point.
As I said, we are going to start to pursue full refunds as from Monday morning.
Have you watched that video back?
I have. No, it's not them. So the House of Illuminati guarantees...
The House of Illuminati tells lies.
You know, I was fearful because I'm not confrontational. I don't deal well in those sorts of situations.
So you're a fake. You're a fake. That's why you don't advertise exactly what the thing is about.
It shows me as somebody who's not compassionate, that doesn't care. Full refunds as from Monday morning. It shows the worst versions of myself.
But this isn't the first time 35-year-old Billy Cool has faced controversy. In 2021, Billy was criticised for cancelling a Santos Grotto event after toys and gifts for children had been donated.
Was involved in a charity. The charity's sole purpose was to help the Santos Grotto event, which had to be cancelled as a result of a local corona increase. By no means was this supposed to be a scam. Every person got their presents from Santa.
Billy wound down the charity in 2022. Also that year, Billy attempted to win a seat in the Glasgow City Council elections.
What I was seeing, people who had been asking for change, I believed that I could do that. But what I learned from that was there's always somebody going to be stabbing you in the back.
Billy is also an author, publishing 17 books in a year, which some claim were written by AI.
We used AI for the purposes of helping with grammar, spelling and continuity as a result of dyslexia.
He fits into a long tradition of showmen and hucksters who have just got overexcited at what they're trying to achieve.
For his Willie's Chocolate Experience event, Billy had set his sights high.
I was hoping for an event that would be joyful, happy. I wanted people to experience happiness.
It's families and children were crying and the police were called. It got pretty serious.
I'm going to call the police.
The police did arrive.
There was this mob outside the door screaming to get in. Those police cars were like, oh, how did this happen in the span of 2 hours?
And, some of the other parents were explaining, oh yeah, this is like, we're filing in a complaint. And I was like, well, I was one of the actors, so I can tell you about everything that went on.
In similar cases to this event, organisers have faced serious criminal charges. On the 28th of November 2008, Lapland New Forest opened its doors to excited families.
They billed it as the next big thing. Everyone was so excited about it.
50,000 people forked out around £25 a ticket to see Hollywood special effects and a magical tunnel of light in a place where dreams really do come true.
It was absolutely appalling. I don't think I've ever been somewhere quite so bad. If you've paid £5 to get in, you would think that you'd paid too much.
The magical tunnel of light was just a few fairy lights strung up in some trees.
I didn't know I'd even gone through it until I said, oh look, there's a tunnel of light. And I said, yeah, we've been through that.
This was the nativity scene, and the husky dogs were in such a sorry state that the RSPCA was called.
For the money was absolutely appalling.
Just 6 days later, Lapland New Forest closed its doors. Unsurprisingly, trading standards received 2,000 complaints.
They took lots of people's money, promising this magical experience. If they take their money and they don't deliver what was promised, and never intended to deliver what was promised, then that's outright fraud.
The organisers, brothers Victor and Henry Mears, were found guilty of 8 charges of misleading customers and each sentenced to 13 months in prison, although the sentence was later quashed.
Judge made it clear he thought they had no intention of ever delivering what they'd promised, and the 2 men ended up in jail.
Back in Glasgow, although the doors to Willy's chocolate experience remain shut, the event quickly finds a new life online.
Within a couple of hours there was a Facebook group set up, more of a survivors group.
There was like about 200 members. When I seen that, like, oh my gosh.
The story starts getting shared on social media.
This is what I wanted, okay? This is what I got. A few people actually said, I don't know what's worse, the experience or the sound of that girl's voice. And this is what I got.
The first time I kind of clocked onto it was when my friend messages me going, you popped up on my page.
So this just popped up on my For You page and it's gone absolutely viral. It's insane.
And I'm like, oh no.
This is an experience that was advertised and people showed up to this with their children, but they got this.
Even though you'd been to it, you became quite obsessed about, what was the fallout and watching everything happen on social.
Fantastic and random.
Even Scottish actress Karen Gillan of Doctor Who and Marvel fame comments on it.
It was so memeable.
Willy's Chocolate Factory in Glasgow failed miserably and the results are hilarious.
There was a Willy Wonka event that was so bad the police got called.
It's full of wonders, beautiful things.
Yes, those are my own shoes.
A video of me gets posted. It's got 2 million views. It's me saying some of this AI-generated script, and it was insane.
Show it back, show it back.
And then it keeps rolling, it keeps rolling, it keeps rolling, it keeps rolling.
Hundreds of clips are racking up millions and millions of views across social media.
And I woke up the next day and my phone had just erupted.
It promised to be a magical chocolate experience.
And then the story hits the mainstream media.
Police were called to an immersive Willy Wonka experience in Glasgow.
One parent even wrote on Facebook, sold a dream and delivered a nightmare.
And you guys had a laugh about it, because we didn't realise it was going to be this big. It was just wild.
It's mentioned in Parliament.
It seems the chance has been taking lessons on marketing from the Willy Wonka experience in Glasgow.
Never in a million years did I think that it would be on local news.
Alana,
sorry, my dad.
it wasn't a world of imagination when you arrived. What was it like?
Never mind international news.
Our first low goes to the Willy Wonka-inspired event for kids.
Some angry parents and kids were left with a sour taste.
What they found is basically a big empty warehouse with vinyl backdrops tacked to the wall.
The New York Times interviewed me. Seriously?
The enraged parents, they're calling it a ripoff, and some even called the police to complain.
The internet calling it Willy Wonka's Fire Fest.
I woke up one morning to see 10 different people ask me, can I please get an interview with you? I would love to hear your side of the story.
Oompa Loompa Doompity Doop?
It's almost a bit of privilege in the fact that you were one of the few that got to experience the beautiful nightmare that was Willy's chocolate experience.
But as the story grows, so do the negative comments.
There's a lot of angry people out there, there's a lot of people with their kind of virtual pitchforks and...
The most vicious comments are aimed at event organiser Billy.
It's not a nice feeling to be under the microscope.
Were you getting a few messages, a lot of messages?
Hundreds. And hundreds. Calling me the most awful names. You look like a villain or a devil, or saying that I'm a horrific dad. I'm better off dead. I should kill myself. My life has been turned upside down. My life is ruined.
I genuinely hope he's okay. And I genuinely do kind of fear a bit for his mental health and, you know, his state of mind.
But as the dust settles, Billy faces a new challenge.
I got some legal advice to some form of civil lawsuit to ensure that Mr. Willie Scam Wonka, whatever you want to call him, will not be doing it again.
Many of the visitors to Billy's event are still out of pocket, and some have spent a small fortune.
We're charging a lot of money for the tickets.
So it's £155 like altogether.
I spent £165 on the 7 tickets. I mean, that could have taken my kids to somewhere like Alton Towers.
It just felt like I'd been scammed. Like, I just felt like I'd been robbed.
There was a lady and she came from Newcastle. She'd actually booked a hotel overnight. That's an expense for lots of kids. You know, you're booking a hotel and then the tickets and then the food. You know, it's a lot of money.
On the day of the event, Billy reassured everyone that they would get their money back.
As I said, we're going to start to issue full refunds as from Monday morning.
Right, so where's my guarantee?
I'm not a scam artist, I'm not a con man, I'm not anything like that. We guarantee a full refund starting from Monday. Yeah. Set up and I go through the transactions individually, they're still ongoing. If people haven't received a refund, I have gone through many emails and said to people, look, if you've not had your refund yet, please contact your bank because they may have processes in place to be able to help it.
These are scammed kids.
I have genuinely done what I can.
There are various consumer protection laws which would give you your rights to your money back. And I think Willie Chocolate Experience is covered by the Consumer Rights Act of 2015, which is it just was not fit for purpose. It was not as described. It was not of satisfactory quality. I think that's pretty cut and dried. The consumers were badly let down.
Paid £40 a ticket for this.
Billy did share a post with a screenshot saying there's been like, 800 something refunds processed of 900 something. But I think if the money's not in the account for when those go through, they're not going to pass through. So I don't think anyone's got anything yet.
I'm glad to see so many enthusiastic young
Families featured in this film say they're still waiting to receive a refund from Billy.
I got some legal advice. Hopefully we'll be able to, do some form of civil lawsuit in some way to recover the funds and ensure that Mr. Willie Scam Wonka, whatever you want to call him, will not be doing it again.
The fact that Billy Cool turned up to his own Willie's Chocolate Experience, first of all, suggests it's not a scam. If he was a pure scam artist, he would have taken the money and run, and he would now be in Bermuda. And he's not. He's still facing the music in Glasgow.
Billy claims it was always his intention for the event to be a success.
In my mind, it was the perfect venue because it was industrial looking and I believed the size was ideal. The lights and technical stuff had started to come in. There was initially problems with the electrical workings at the venue. I thought that we could deal with the situation. However, after all the sort of stuff were put up, it wasn't what I imagined.
The failure and fallout of Willie's Chocolate Experience has had a massive impact on Billy.
Because of everything that had happened, it ran into my personal life. I have lost my friends, I've lost the love of my life. I was made out to be the face of all evil. when genuinely that's really not the case.
Hello, it's me, Felicia, aka The Unknown, and
In the aftermath of the event, some of the performers have decided to make the most of their newfound fame.
If they have the right people behind them, they could stand to make quite a lot of money and have a lot of brand deals, things like that.
I am here to do your personalised videos and all your requests.
I got like a DM a couple of days ago saying if I'd be interested in performing at the Clapham Grand down in London. It's been so wonderful.
That's the end of the Q&A, but make sure to stay tuned because there is some exciting stuff.
Oh, scary face. Oh my God. Scary.
Oh my God, this is terrible.
Glasgow's not known for a lot of things, and now it's known for this whole scam experience, and it's just insane.
Oh look, it's a chocolate river! I don't know how it got this big, I really don't. What a waste of money.
Poor wee Glasgow is on the map.
Most fancy castle in the world.
For the families who visited the chocolate experience, it's been an education.
100% would do more kind of research into it, but it would definitely make me think twice about, for one, licensed events. Is it an official event?
The greater use of AI-produced images is causing problems for consumers.
AI is not just being used to create the marketing, but to market things better to us, to get our attention better. We, as people, are going to have to start asking ourselves what we should trust. And that could end up meaning that we don't really trust anything.
There is a rich, long tradition of terrible events put on by entertainers massively out of their depth in the UK, and we love them. We love to laugh at them. Britain being Britain, as night follows day, there will be another one. Next Christmas, there will be unhappy, miserable elves fighting in Santa's grotto, and we will all laugh and secretly love it. If there's any justice, the Willy Chocolate Experience in Glasgow would put an end to all of these hubristic, terribly managed events.
But is this really the end of the story for Willy's Chocolate Experience? Maybe not. An online petition has been started demanding it reopen. It currently has over 7,000 signatures.
I think in hindsight I would probably pay double the amount for the ticket. If they opened it tomorrow, it would sell out. People would fly in to be part of this and experience it, and it's just become so big.
Brand new tomorrow at 8. How does our capital's world-famous transport system keep London moving? Join us amongst the chaos underground on the Tube. Next tonight, he was a national treasure and brought joy to so many of us. Celebrate the Dale Winton story, one of a kind, brand new after the break.